Good morning. Sunday, February 20th. Today's rant was requested by my good friend Stan Tu. He sent me an article from the Wall Street Journal that indicated how a true democracy works. And this democracy deals with oil production, and it deals with the frackers, and it deals with those who produce oil in the traditional way, using oil wells. Well, what it turns out to be, and why I say it's a true democracy, because in this particular case, the oil companies, the frackers in particular, plan to keep oil production low, in very low gear, as they say this year, even as the prices are approaching $100 a barrel for the first time since 2014. Now, what are the frackers doing? They are keeping the production deliberately low. They are not listening to the government, to the president, who has asked for an increase in oil production. No, these companies, these frackers, are keeping the production low so their investors can make money, and they can make money. By keeping production low, they keep the prices high, and then they give the money to their investors. In a true democracy, in a true democratic way, we will screw the public, but we will take care of our investors. Is that what we want to see in this country? Why can't we step up to the plate and produce more oil when it's needed? So the frackers are pledging austerity despite the tightening oil market supply. Global oil production growth isn't keeping pace with the renewed demand. As economies recover from the pandemic and the threat of a Russian invasion is rattling the markets, these people are ignoring those facts. They are going to stick to their austerity plan. That means they're not going to spend that much money, but they intend to make a lot of money and intend to distribute it to themselves and to their investors, and to screw the public. That's what they're doing. They are screwing the public. These tactics are more than just raising the prices. For years, these frackers have been having trouble getting investors. So now they're using this issue, and they're sticking to their commitments so they can limit their production and return more cash to the shareholders. And they will win back investors. That's what the whole thing is about. It's about winning back investors. Because after years of poor returns, this is an opportunity to get more people to invest in their businesses. And then that's why they're doling out. And that's why they can't increase production. It's a very one-sided kind of democracy. We're in it for ourselves and for our investors. And screw the public. Now, inflation plays a part in this whole thing too. And the supply chain disruptions are playing another part in this scenario also, because the frackers expect their costs to rise by about 15%. But that doesn't matter to them. They are going to stick to their guns as long as the money keeps rolling in. So they'll pay an extra 15% for production. But they're going to make it back because they keep raising the prices. You know, it's the same thing we see all over with this inflation. People get raises, but the raises are not large enough to improve their meager existence. Everything from the raise. So the same thing is happening to the frackers, but they don't care. They're making so much money, and the investors are happy, and they're getting shareholders to come back. So there's no change in their cash return playbook, as they call it. They're going to keep doing what they're doing till the whole economy shifts again. And as far as those who have oil wells go, oil wells have increased significantly in numbers. But many of those oil wells are not really producing enough to cover the loss of production that's been caused by the fracking industry and the fracking attitudes. So while you have oil wells, they're not up to speed yet. Where we were expecting to get something like 400,000 barrels more a day, we're only getting about 240,000 more barrels a day out of the oil well industry. So it's a tough situation all around. And even though the president has been begging these people to increase production, they've taken a stance, a true democratic stance, is screw the public, but take care of our investors and take care of our own pockets. So they're out there, and they are not working for us, the public. So when you look at this picture from the investor standpoint, they don't need the companies to grow. It's throwing off enough cash as it is. They're doing fine. So they're not going to push the companies to grow and expand and do more. They're getting plenty of money as it is. The object of the game here is to keep the price high, not necessarily to grow the company. Keep the price high, keep the costs low, give the investors tons of money, and we'll all be fine. So company growth is like a disincentive, because if it grows, it costs you more. So if you're making tons of money without growing, why do you want to invest in any growth? And that's really what the Wall Street Journal article points out. And I am just stating the facts from the Wall Street Journal article, in addition to my own opinions. None of the opinions that have been voiced here belong to the Wall Street Journal. They just provided me with the facts, and I provide you with my opinion on how bad our democracy really is right now, and how much of a struggle we are in, and how little cooperation we are getting from some major industries like oil. And so when you look at this, you can understand why I would tend to lean more toward a green environment, a renewable energy environment, as opposed to allowing the oil companies and the coal companies to rip us off and destroy this country, the world actually, more than this country. So that's what I have to say this morning, and I hope my good friend Stan too is happy with the way I presented this rant. So I leave you with that, and I will see you in the morning. Bye.